Yo, so earlier I posted this funny video on my Instagram talking about how my inbox be in real life. If you ain't seen it, I'm gonna play it real quick.
How my inbox be in real life.
Oh, man. Ooh. Hey, yo, Wavy, man, can you help me hook up my interface to my computer?
Bro, where you
Look,
come
man,
from?
can you help me out, bro?
Bro,
Please.
chill,
Can you help me out? Oh, man.
Chill.
What's going on, Wavy, man? I just got the new mic, man. I can't get it to get loud for nothing in the world.
Bro, hold up, man.
No, I need help, brother.
All right, what kind of mic do you even got? You know, this is Shure S7B, man.
Okay.
You gonna need you a cloud lifter,
Okay.
bro. That's gonna plug up and then turn on your phantom power and you're good, man.
Thank you, brother.
All right.
Wait, hey, from YouTube. What's going on, brother? Can you help me out? How you got going? How you been, brother?
Bro, I'm
I
just
need
trying to get some chip, man. I can't go nowhere, bro. Dang.
Golly.
Yo, look, I love helping y'all, but sometimes y'all be popping up, man. But it's all good. Your boy Wavy is here to help. So I also posted something else on my Instagram, and there was this little thing right here. If you ain't following me on Instagram, then you capping. You need to stop the cap. What are some of your biggest hurdles in the studio, man? So why did I post that? Because I really do want to help you. I want to be able to commit the time to sit down and talk with y'all. So that's what this is right now, man. Go ahead and sit back, kick back, get you a drink. Make sure you got to make sure that the throat is ready, right? Let's just get to the questions. Anyway, so shout out to everybody who actually commented on this post on my Instagram. I'm Wayne.wav on Instagram, just like her on YouTube. Shout out to everybody that commented it. But some of these questions was actually kind of dope. Some of them made me think a little bit. So let's go through them and work together. So the first question that I got from Samantha Elise Music. The question is, not sounding the same as the demo is frustrating. I'm hardly ever in the same mood I was when I created the song at home. So my advice to you, Samantha, is capture greatness at home, right? You don't have to wait till you get to the studio to actually create the final product. We are home studio professionals. So the people who are Wavy Seals Elite and go through my Pro Tools course and y'all learning all these techniques, you don't have to be in a big commercial studio to get a commercial sound. If you know what you're doing and you know a few techniques and you have some proper equipment, kind of like, you know, one thing, a good microphone like the SM7B that I'm recording on right now, that'll help to eliminate the need for excessive acoustic treatment in your room, right? So having a good pair of headphones that will isolate the music from escaping and bleeding into the microphone, and just recording in a quiet environment through a clean interface, right? You can record quality music at your crib. So learn how to use basic Pro Tools or basic Logic, whatever it is that you have access to, and you can capture exactly how you feeling when you're at home or wherever you at, and then work on using what you have and building on top of that. And you can take it to a producer or whatever that needs to add it. But that emotion is so powerful. That's why we have these tools. And is honestly, even if you record it into your iPhone, the most important thing about a record is the emotion. So I would just say, if the emotion is there, that's going to be the most important thing. The sound is actually going to be secondary to the emotion when it comes to the record. So just make sure that it feels good. But definitely, if you can, try to use high quality capturing devices. But you can do it on a very small scale, a cheap budget. And again, even if you got to do it on your iPhone, if inspiration strikes you and you get something and record it into your phone, these phones have pretty good microphones and you can actually use it on the record. So it's really all about accessibility and using what you have to get the creativity out. So I would say, don't worry about trying to recreate the demo because that is impossible. I would just say, know that there is no demos, and that first take is usually the best take. So make sure you capture it. I got another question. I'm gonna go down here. You say, my man Tranquil, man. Shout out to the Wavy Seals Elite. Shout out to everybody that's got certified in my Pro Tools user certification course. I actually have another course that's enrolling right now so that you can learn how to use Pro Tools like a pro. All right. If you want to do that, make sure you drop off in the links and all that. Go to my website and get registered for that course. It's going to be starting January 3rd, and classes will fill up soon. Tranquil, my man across the pond, says he's overthinking compression. This is a tricky one, man, because compression is one of those things that you get once you get it, like, you know, and you got to really work with it. But definitely, I wouldn't say don't overthink it, but you have to feel it. You have to feel the attack and release times. You have to really listen critically to what the compression is doing. So spend time working with like a solo, like a snare drum, right? That might be something really like a snare or a kick, right? Something that's kind of percussive. And spend time learning how faster attacks versus slow attacks shape the transient of that sound, how it sounds differently, right? And play with different compression settings that way. Like really just spend time playing with the stuff. I think in a lot of cases, we are working on stuff and trying to create a Grammy project or whatever it is, or working on a client at the same time that we still trying to learn stuff and play with stuff too. And we have to remember, let's make time to play in the studio. Let's just make time to pull up a track and do some wild stuff, push a compressor to the limits, experiment, right? Quit just watching YouTube videos and seeing what other people have done. Find some time to play and express yourself and experiment with your own stuff. So, and by doing that, I think that you will stop thinking and overthinking some of the stuff in the process, and really just find that you are creating from more a creativity standpoint. So that's part of my take on it. But yeah, you do gotta learn some compression stuff. I got a compression tutorial if you want to get technical that you can check out. I'll leave a link down in the description. All right, the next question gonna come from TK.CMK. Now this ain't really even a question. He just said limiting a mix, and I'm gonna reply just as easily. 2 limiters. I'm done. If you want more, tap in with me in the Wavy Seals Elite. Jordy Man says, I get this radio interface sound in my recordings. Like if I put my phone close to a monitor, I hear it. Oh, radio interference. I hear it even more. Okay, yes. Our phones are sending out radio signals all the time, especially if you have tube mics and some types of studio monitors, depending on the types of shielding, you can pick up that interference. So I hear it all the time. You might be picking up truck signals. These electrical devices can pick it up. I always tell artists whenever we experience that with some microphones more than others, for sure, they need to put their phone on airplane mode. So if you are getting that interference, it will be in your recording if it's coming through the microphone. So yeah, you might want to put your phones on airplane mode while you're in the studio. I know that hurts because how can you mix without scrolling the gram? Oh man. All right. Tonya Vilth. I'm sorry if I mess up y'all names. I know. Yeah, I know I'm an engineer. I'm not a what you call them people who be reading this stuff, a scholar. So Tonya Vilth W says, right now, growth, man. Oh, Tony Anvil. I'm sorry, I just put together the name. All right, right now, growth, man. Looking to network with more folks and have a constant workflow going. Okay, yeah, growth, networking. That honestly sounds like you need to be a part of the Wavy Seals Elite, man. The Wavy Seals Elite is all about growth and networking. I don't want to give a commercial right now, but definitely you need to be around like-minded people. and having conversations about engineering constantly. Every day you need to be talking about mixing, talking about new techniques, talking about the music industry if this is what you're a part of. So if that's not what people talking about in your circle, that's cool. Just spend some more time outside of that circle in other circles where people are talking about those things, if those are the areas that you want to grow, because you obviously going to grow in whatever you putting your time into and whatever influences you have around you. So get the proper people around you. That's what the Wavy Seals Elite cultivates for our members. Pod Peak commented, getting distracted watching YouTube videos. That's they biggest hurdle, getting distracted watching YouTube videos. How you getting distracted watching YouTube video? That's your biggest hurdle in the studio. Cut the YouTube off, man. What's some real tangible advice though, and not being funny, is practice time blocking. I do this when I'm in the studio a lot, to where I'll set a timer and say, you know what, I'm gonna work on this task for 45 minutes straight without no break, without not checking my phone, without checking the email or nothing like that. So by having extreme time where it's hyper focused on getting the task done, you will realize that you actually can be more productive instead of just always switching tasks, you know. And it's a lot harder for people who need to do stuff that's connected to the internet. If that's part of your job and your workflow, it's hard because you got all these notifications. Try to minimize the notifications. And I love how the phones are giving us like little tools that we could, you know, go into work mode or whatever, to where I don't want no notifications for the next hour. Do not disturb, you know. Please take pride in your peace and block off of the distractions. That's what you need to do. Let's go to the next question. We got Mike Fidelis. Yo, Wayne, you use multi-and compression when mastering or on the sub mix, always end up with too much low end. Well, Mike, this is what I'm gonna say. If you are ending up with too much low end, then you need to address it in the mix. Okay? When you are working on a mix, the benefit of, I do a lot of what I would call pseudo mastering for the sake of right now. I'll call it pseudo mastering. And I do a lot of it while I'm mixing, but what I notice is that if I'm running into a problem off some processing on my mix bus processing, I will go back and address it in the mix. Because if I still have my mix there, then I have that capability, right? So that is definitely one option. But y'all gotta quit being afraid to use mastering engineers. Definitely. If y'all focus more time on getting a good dynamic mix that sounds good and clean and got help with the mastering, you would be a whole lot happier with some of y'all products, man. I was just telling a client the other day, I was working on a mix for him, honestly. He sent it to me and I'm like, bro, like your rough draft for the mix sounds pretty good. Like it's pretty much spot on and it's everything that you want. You probably just really need to get mastering at this point. And knowing that is, that's valuable too. So don't try to fix stuff with mastering, especially if you can fix it right there in the mix. Now, that's my take on it. And don't try to fix it in the mix if you can fix it and record. All right, so Outside Midnight says, finding the one. And then he cries a little bit. Look, man, you might have to just tap into me at the Married to Music podcast. My wife Lydia got a lot of tips about finding the one. I looked up on the one. I don't know if it's a method that I can tell you other than tap in with us on the Married to Music podcast. Okay, so the biggest hurdle for OB2 times is whack artists. Wow. For one, I don't know what a whack artist is. To me, a whack artist is a fake artist. They not really an artist. They doing it for clout. They ain't coming in with no kind of inspiration or drive. They not, they just trying to be in the studio because they think it's cool. Like them is whack artists, and that's boring sessions for me. But if I get any artist that's passionate about what they're doing it's gonna bring something out of me, and we gonna have a fun time. So I rarely run into whack artists, but believe me, I have ran into a few whack artists. I'm like, bro, what are you even doing here? Like, you wasting both of our time. You don't even really want to do this for real. So I've run into that situation a few times for sure, but consistently, as far as whack artists, nah, I mean, don't let that be your hurdle. Use it as a point of creativity to sharpen your stone. Maybe you can learn to produce artists a little bit more. Maybe now you get a objective to work and build them up versus having somebody that's coming in and polish, right? That's kind of how I built up my reputation with a lot of artists, is by being that producer for them and leading them along the way, because a lot of them, especially when y'all starting out, your clients are going to be just starting out too. So if you have some coaching that you can offer them, some instructions, some way to help lead them to get a better performance, a better recording, that will make you more valuable and increase their value as an artist, you know, and everybody wins there. So, yeah, let's keep going. All right. Let me see, man. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more questions, man, because I know how y'all get out here. MMR Enterprise. I'm just gonna read this because he got a lot of emojis. I don't really know what it say yet. I ain't proofread these or nothing. MMR Enterprise says, Fire S keep popping up on my computer. Don't matter what I do. Fire beat, fire verse. How can I put this fire out, Wave? That was funny, bro. You don't want to put the fire out, man. You definitely don't want to do that. Vizzy Miyagi says, latency. I just don't like changing the setting every time I hop on, but I deal with it. Really? That's your biggest issue? Is changing the hardware buffer size when you get into your session? Really? That's your biggest issue because you lazy. You that lazy that you can't click about 3 clicks. Laziness is your real issue, Busy Miyagi. All right, let me see. Now, I think, let me see what my boys say. It's the boy. I think that's what the thing said. It's the boy. Honestly, it's respect. Having to ask for payment, clients coming late and still want the full time they booked, people asking for favors and discounts, going to other studios just to come back. Total lack of respect. Well, respect. How can I say this, man? Dang, man. Honestly, I feel like you got to give respect to get respect. And you will rarely get disrespected if you are showing people the utmost respect. My man Thomas broke it down for me the other day in our American Music podcast, how he said, like, if you an engineer, you in the service business. If you the producer, you in the service industry. You know, we in the service industry, and it's our duty to serve. And so, like, it's been weird that I've been disrespected. Now, let me clear it up. Have I had to ask for my money before from people who I know had my money? Absolutely. People will try you because they forget, you know, and be like, oh yeah, you nice and stuff. Oh, you smile. Oh, you didn't crack jokes and stuff. And, okay, but we got my money though, you know? So absolutely that happens. But as far as people, let me see what else. People coming in late and still want the full-time book. You gotta let your expectations be known up front, right? So this is I would say this is a part where you need to let people know what you expect up front. So if you say, hey, this is the start time. If you cancel within an hour of the session, like, this is my policy. If you come late, this is my policy. This is my refund policy. This is how I work on mixes. So by having policies that are clear and known to people up front, then they have a choice to determine whether they want to interact and transact with your business on your terms, right? And so you got to make sure you set those, though, because people will always test the terms when they can. Well, some people will, but if that's a huge problem for you, is that a lot of people are like disrespecting, then it's probably something that you are putting off that's opening yourself up for that. So definitely you know, take that as you can, my guy. Let's see, man. I'm gonna give y'all one more question. It's so many good ones though. It's so many good ones. I spend way too much time on EQing my vocals, overthinking my mix too much. Yeah, so overthinking, way too much time EQing. I hardly ever even EQ. You watch my videos, I be using all multi-band. I whip bow, 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 right? Make sure you capture a good vocal. It's super important to capture. My screen going crazy. Make sure we still recording. It's super important to capture what you want to hear as you are recording it. That way you ain't got to worry about, you know, EQing so much. If you have that liberty, when you get the beat, or if you're working with the artist, hey, let's make sure that their delivery actually works for the melody and the instrumentation that's working in this beat. And then the pitch of their voice works with the music that we trying to put it together with, right? So having those things, having a proper composition for one, is going to help to increase the quality of your mixes tenfold. You just can't get a good mix without a good song, man. Biggest hurdle. Oh, okay. Vocal addiction music. This is the last one. Biggest hurdle I'm facing at the moment is a -38 code when using my X6 and satellite. Shake my head. Soon as I did the latest UAD and Luna update, instant problem. Red alert, red alert, red alert, red alert. I just seen your problem right there, buddy. Update. It's a perfect time to cap this off. Ladies and gentlemen, once you have a stable, working, recording, and mixing system, don't update. Don't update so you can get a better photo booth app and ruin your Pro Tools. Don't update so that your FaceTime notifications come through with a new animation and ruin your Pro Tools. Don't update your system once it's up and running, man. RP to all the updates. Make sure y'all follow me on Instagram if you want to be a part of the next Q&A, and also check out the Wavy Seals Elite if you want to actually be able to dive deeper on these questions, get exclusive content, exclusive Q&As with me, master classes, and I bring some of my friends and mentors to teach and share knowledge as well. The Wavy Seals Elite is where it's at. I'm Wavy Wayne from wavywayne.com, and you are a dope individual. Keep being that. I'm out of here. Hey, man. If you love my YouTube channel, then you'll really love the Wavy Seals Elite. The Wavy Seals Elite is a membership group that offers you way more than you can get on YouTube. Not only do you get one-on-one communication with me at least once or twice a week through our live lessons, Q&As, but we also have multi-track practice sessions, 2-track practice sessions. I'll be bringing along other experts because I don't know everything. So every month we have monthly master classes where you get to learn from an expert in the field. We give each other feedback on mixes and help each other problem solve issues in the studio. As a member of the Wavy Seals Elite, you'll also get access to an amazing community of audio engineers and producers who are all learning and building with each other. There's 2 membership opportunities for the Wavy Seals Elite. You can choose monthly or annual membership. If you're ready to take your skills to the next level and really grow your career in audio production, the Wavy Seals Elite is what you're looking for.